I've been doing an absolutely horrible job at doing any videos whatsoever. Excuse the mess here, and hello. Yeah, so I got this guy on Marketplace for $80 because what was it? It did the supports fall over. $80 so far. It's made me back $177, and it prints. And I've even mastered printing 85A. No, sorry, 85A TPU on it, but it starts to lift off the bed. So that's great. But today I'm working on this. I rooted it, which was a whole thing for me because I don't like rooting. I don't like dealing with software that you can brick. So the biggest thing is once I rooted it and I did a 9-point mesh, I discovered that whoa, these beds are really messed up. So what I'm doing is I had to put an American screw in here because they decided to leave one of their Allen screws and mess it up. So it was stripped. So anyways, I know it's a bit boring. That's why I don't like making content. And I guess you can fast forward if you want to. I clean this thing up the best I can, but I just live in a dusty environment. We have cats and animals, so now the front's lifting, the back's lifting. I had shims, I made them, but these would be the third set of shims that I've made. Different heights, I've been trying out different things, and I'm using the bamboo to print them because I want to focus on leveling the bed. And I've gone as thin as that. So, but now I just finished off my 2 new shims, and we're going to try them out. What we got here is got the first one again, a small one, and he's front right. So the one we're working on is going to be 1.6 millimeters, or 0.16, sorry, millimeters. So I'm going to set him in there. Now, I highly recommend rooting your K1. Honestly, if you never have, I've noticed a major improvement instantly. For one, the Creality has a complete user script right on their website. I can link it below. And for two, it's such a well supported thing that even like I'm pretty sure anybody can master it. It's not that hard. But so we put that one in, and this guy's left front, not much bigger, I think. Let me verify. Yeah, so I've got barely any difference between the two, but just enough. Okay. This is apparently everyone, so I'll put this guy back here. Now, I don't know, as I said, if you have an issue with rooting your printer, it's just Klipper is an amazing firmware. I've researched it long and hard, and I've wanted to do it for a while, but I've been nervous because this is my moneymaker. So the back one suggests 0.4 of a shim, and I don't think we can actually print 0.4. So, paper towel. That is my solution here. If the house burns down, it wasn't me. And this is your leading brand double ply. I'm going to see how close I was with it because I can't print as thin as I wish, and I don't want to have massive gap. I don't want to have massive plastic shims sitting there between the bed and the mounting points. The next problem will be bending the bed into shape, which is a whole thing because they're always warped, right? Is this aluminum? Now don't tighten them up all the way. Make them snug, well, like lightly snug. Don't lose your screws. I do need to replace the belt on this soon, and that's probably a more worrisome thing of doing than rooting, honestly. That's how simple it was to root. The big issue is when you start changing files and configs and layouts and stuff like that. But most of it's pretty straightforward. You just do your resonance testing, and yeah. So input shaping is all done for you. Everything's done via a couple buttons, and then you just still operate your printer normally as you would, especially K1. So now that we've gotten snug with everything, we're going to go around, make sure everything's nice and snug. Turn there. Bit of a turn here. Now every 100 hours I try and go over this printer as far as cleaning it when I'm using it. Sometimes I get carried away and I don't, but the biggest thing is making sure that your belts stay clean, because the oil and the grease do go places. Don't use grease on the top bar. I use Singer sewing machine oil, and that's the biggest thing. So now let's see if that did anything. Gotta run over, and how simple it is. Run over, see how simple it is. Just go in here. I got the Retro D presets. Discard the presets. That's saved, and now that's ready to go. So then we hop on device. Let me shut the flash off on this thing. Okay, so the biggest thing, we're going to the console. What we do, we type this in. And that starts everything. So I went with a 9x9 for my initial calibration. Don't need it again afterwards, but it's a long calibration process because it only moves this far. And now that that's done, finally, we can move on with the next task. Now, after running my fix and my shims and I ran it out, I encountered the fact that, well, my printer's a little wonky. So what happens with these is that your bed gets a little out of whack. This is apparently down, so there's no real option other than manual force here at this point. Now I can move the bed a little bit with shimming it over there, but that's not the real issue, because when looking at the bed mesh here, what we have is that corner is sinking down way too low. So if we look at it from the front, there's no way that me adjusting much is going to do much. I can adjust the pad, but the issue with the pad is it sits in here, right? So I'm going to bend that up and see what happens. And then I'm going to bend that down. So up, down. Getting yourself in here correctly is a task. So I bent that up. We're gonna crush this down a little bit. Doesn't take much to warp aluminum. And I hope I didn't warp it too much there. Setting this up. And then when I notice that seems pretty alright. So now we're gonna rerun a bed mesh. That just takes forever. So I've placed a little plastic shim in here, just underneath of that. That's 0.16 millimeters. And then I tweaked the bed a little bit. So now we're showing a little bit better there. I will be running another calibration, but we should be good after that. I've just kind of bent down the edges a little bit more, so I tweaked them a little more to kind of get them into place, so we'll see what happens there. And as you see now, after everything, my bed mesh is near perfect. I mean, that's my variation, so I'm not going to complain for no glass on the bed, no nothing. That's pretty minor. I mean, you can tell where I've kind of bent it up a bit. It's still a little bit high over there, so I might go pads and bend it down, but honestly, that's producing a very good print. But that's where we're at now. So, I mean, you can't really argue with brute force. It's not bad.